Leviticus chapter 17, the soul within the stream, the law of the crimson altar. Part 1, the blood code they hid in the desert. Get your minds right, family. Grab your scriptures, throw away your pagan theological garbage, and sit your asses down, because today we are tearing down the lies you've been fed in these sanitized, whitewashed, punk-ass churches. Welcome back to another hard-hitting, unfiltered lesson on Yah First Ministries with your brother Betsadeh Lamed Aleph Lamed. If you came here looking for some sweet, feel-good, lukewarm Sunday school stories, you better click off this broadcast right now. Go back to your lying-ass preachers who are robbing you blind for a Cadillac payment while they lead your soul straight into annihilation. But if you are hungry for the raw, uncut, profane, and visceral truth of the Torah, then you are in the right place. Today we are opening up a classified crime scene investigation into Leviticus chapter 17. This is part 1 of a 2-part masterclass. We are going to expose the absolute blueprint of the blood, the biological and spiritual firewall that the Most High established for his chosen people, and how the enemy has reverse engineered this manual to keep you sick, weak, and spiritually blind. We're going to strip away the religious mysticism and show you the technical engineering beneath the text. Yah is the master engineer, and Leviticus is not some dusty book of ancient rituals. It is an operations manual, a system specification sheet for the human machine and the covenant bloodline. In this first part, we are going to dissect verses 1 through 8. We are going to talk about the centralized power grid of the tabernacle, the biometric authentication of blood, and we are going to utterly demolish the bullshit Christian myth of supernatural demons. Let's get into the source code. Verses 1 through 4, the centralized power grid of the tabernacle. And Yod-Heh-Waw-Heh spake unto Mem-Shin-Heh, Moses, saying, look at this first verse. It seems simple on the surface, but it establishes the entire communication protocol of the system. The text says, Yod-Heh-Waw-Heh spake unto Mem-Shin-Heh. We have to look at the name of our prophet, Mem-Shin-Heh. In the original Paleo-Hebrew, the letters are Mem, which represents water or chaos, Shin, which represents teeth or consumption, and Heh, which represents a window, revelation, or beholding. When you compile these letters, Mem-Shin-Heh literally means, behold the one drawn from the water to consume chaos. He was not just some guy with a staff. He was an engineered vessel, a hardware interface through which the Almighty broadcasts his direct instructions. Notice there is no heavenly council here. There are no winged, halo-wearing fairy tale angels acting as middlemen. That is pagan Roman garbage, designed to make the Father look distant and weak. When the scripture says Yod-Heh-Waw-Heh spake, it was a direct extension of his own voice, a localized manifestation of his infinite power. He executed his word like a programmer compiling an instruction set architecture. This aligns perfectly with Exodus chapter 3 verse 4, where the Creator called out to him directly from the burning bush. The frequency of the Creator's voice is a physical force. When he speaks, reality vibrates. He didn't delegate this to some cosmic bureaucracy. He did it himself. If you want to understand the law, you have to understand that it came straight from the source, designed to keep the human machine running at peak performance. Speak unto Aleph He Resh Nun, Aaron, and unto his sons, and unto all the children of Yad Shin Resh Aleph Lamed, Israel, and say unto them, this is the thing which Yod-Heh-Waw-Heh hath commanded, saying, now the instruction is routed through the proper network channels. Mem-Shin-Heh is told to speak to Aleph He Resh Nun, Aaron, and his sons, the designated system operators, and then to all of Yad Shin Resh Aleph Lamed. Let's break down Aleph He Resh Nun in the Paleo Hebrew. Aleph is the ox head, representing strength or leadership. He is the window, meaning behold. Resh is the head of a man, meaning first or chief. And Nun is the sprouting seed, representing life and continuation. Aleph He Resh Nun means behold the chief strength of the seed. He was the high priest, the chief administrator of the physical tabernacle motherboard. And who is he administering it for? Yad Shin Resh Aleph Lamed. Yad is the hand or work. Shin is the teeth to consume or destroy. Resh is the head. Aleph is the ox, strength. Lamed is the staff, authority. Yad Shin Resh Aleph Lamed means the hand that consumes the chief strength of authority. You are not some random generic group of people. You are the engineered rulers of this flat earth, designed to hold the keys of dominion. The priesthood was a temporary shadow. These camps walking around today wearing fake-ass priestly robes, growing long-ass beards, and hanging blue fringes off their belts like they are doing something holy make me sick. They are playing dress-up, cosplaying the Levitical system that Yad Hey Wah Shin Ayin, Jesus, already dissolved and fulfilled. Hebrews chapter 7 verse 11 tells us plainly that the Levitical priesthood was imperfect and had to be replaced by a priest after the order of Melchizedek. Yad Hey Wah Shin Ayin is that high priest. The shadow is over, you dumbass Negroes. Stop trying to put yourselves back under a system of physical ordinances that were nailed to the cross. The law is eternal, but the ritual shadow system of Aaron is finished. What man soever there be of the house of Yad Shin Resh Aleph Lamed that killeth an ox, or lamb, or goat in the camp, or that killeth it out of the camp. Here is where the technical specifications get highly restrictive. The Father says, if any man of the house of Yad Shin Resh Aleph Lamed slaughters an ox, lamb, or goat inside or outside the camp, there are severe consequences if it isn't done correctly. Why such a tight restriction on killing animals? Because meat eating was a temporary shadow system, a concession allowed during the sacrificial era to show the brutal, bloody cost of sin. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 29, the original design for the human machine was strictly plant-based. I have given you every herb-bearing seed. To you it shall be for meat. The word meat there means food, you uneducated fools. Your digestive tract was never engineered to process the rotting, putrefying flesh of dead beasts. When you eat meat, it sits in your intestines, decays, breeds parasites, clogs your cardiovascular plumbing, and poisons your blood. The reason our people are dying of high blood pressure, diabetes, strokes, and cancer at astronomical rates is because you are still living in a shadow era diet. Leviticus chapter 11 was damage control, a set of safety protocols to minimize the toxicity of flesh eating while the sacrificial system was running. But now that Yad Hey Wah Shin Ayin has offered himself as the final sacrifice, the shadow is completely lifted. We must return to the original Edenic source code. If you are still stuffing your face with dead animals, you are defiling the temple of the Holy Spirit, and Yah will destroy you for it. And bringeth it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation to offer an offering unto Yad Hey Wah Hey before the tabernacle of Yad Hey Wah Hey. Blood shall be imputed unto that man. He hath shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people. This is a heavy verse. If a man slaughters an animal and does not bring it to the door of the tabernacle, it is legally classified as murder. Blood shall be imputed unto that man. He hath shed blood, and that man shall be cut off. Let's look at the word blood in Paleo-Hebrew. Dam, spelled Dalet Mem. Dalet is the tent door, the pathway. Mem is the water, chaos, or massive flow. Dam literally means the pathway of the flowing water of life. It is the biological carrier wave. Think of the tabernacle as a centralized motherboard, and the door of the tabernacle is the secure firewall port. The priest is the system administrator. If you attempt to run an unauthorized process, slaughtering an animal outside the designated port, you are introducing malicious code into the camp. It is a security breach. The Father engineered the camp as a pressurized containment vessel, and any unauthorized shedding of blood compromises the integrity of the entire system. What does it mean to be cut off? It doesn't mean you get a polite letter of excommunication. It means execution. It means your life is terminated, your name is wiped from the registry, and your body is thrown out to rot. When the Most High executes judgment, he doesn't do it politely. Imagine the terror of being dragged to the edge of the camp, your throat cut, your blood pouring into the dirt, while your family watches in horror as your flesh is left to be torn apart by wild beasts and covered in flies until you are nothing but bleached bones. That is the cost of violating the system protocols. This matches Hebrews chapter 9, verse 22. Without shedding of blood is no remission. The blood is the biometric authentication key. You cannot bypass the secure port of entry without facing absolute destruction. Verses 5 through 8, smashing the field altars and demonic illusions, to the end that the children of Yud, Shin, Resh, Aleph, Lamed may bring their sacrifices, which they offer in the open field, even that they may bring them unto Yud, He, Wah, He, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, unto the priest, and offer them for peace offerings unto Yud, He, Wah, He. The purpose of this law is to centralize the power grid. The Israelites were out in the wilderness, surrounded by heathen nations, and they had a bad habit of running off into the open field to set up their own rogue altars. Let's look at the word field in Paleo-Hebrew. Sadeh, spelled Shin, Dalet, He. Shin is the teeth, to consume. Dalet is the door. He is the window, to behold. Sadeh means behold the door of consumption. The open field is an unmonitored, decentralized space where the human mind is easily consumed by wild, chaotic frequencies. By commanding them to bring everything to the door of the tabernacle, Yahweh is establishing a secure network connection. Think of your modern technology. If you have a bunch of devices trying to connect to the internet through unencrypted, rogue public Wi-Fi networks, your data is going to get stolen. Your system is going to get infected with malware, and your device is going to be compromised. The tabernacle was the only secure encrypted server. The priests were the firewalls. The peace offerings, Shalom, representing completeness and alignment, were designed to synchronize the people's frequency with the Creator. Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 13 warns us, take heed to thyself, that thou offer not thy burnt offerings in every place that thou seest. You cannot worship the Father on your own terms, you stubborn-ass people. You have to align with his engineered protocols, or your signal will be completely jammed. And the priest shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar of Yad He Wah He at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and burn the fat for a sweet savor unto Yad He Wah He. Look at the mechanics of this ritual. The priest takes the blood and sprinkles it on the altar. In Paleo-Hebrew, altar is Mizbeah, spelled Mem, Zion, Bet, Ket. Mem is water/chaos. Zion is a weapon or cutting tool. Bet is the house. Ket is a wall or separation. Mizbeah means the house of separation where chaos is cut down. The altar was a physical grounding wire, a chemical processing plant where the biological energy of the animal was neutralized and redirected. The fat was burned for a sweet savor. This is thermal engineering. The burning of lipid compounds at high temperatures releases specific aromatic hydrocarbons that interface with the olfactory sensors of the human brain and create an atmosphere of reverence and sensory alignment. But remember, this was a shadow. The physical smoke and animal fat were temporary training wheels. Yod, He, Wah, Shin, Ayin fulfilled this entire process. He didn't sprinkle the blood of goats. He entered the true heavenly tabernacle with his own blood, obtaining eternal redemption for us. as recorded in Hebrews chapter 9, verse 12. The altar in the desert was just a low-resolution copy of the ultimate spiritual motherboard. If you are still looking for physical altars and physical sacrifices, you are denying the finished work of the Messiah. You are trying to run obsolete software on a system that has already been upgraded to the ultimate covenant protocol. And they shall no more offer their sacrifices unto devils, after whom they have gone a whoring. This shall be a statute forever unto them throughout their generations. This verse is where I need you to wake the hell up and pay close attention, because we are about to smash one of the biggest lies in the Christian church. The text says, they shall no more offer sacrifices unto devils. The translation devils is a complete and utter fabrication by the translators to scare you with medieval European fairy tales. The original Hebrew word here is seirim, spelled shin, ayin, yud, resh, mem. Shin is teeth, ayin is the eye, yud is the hand, resh is the head, mem is water. Seirim literally means hairy ones or he-goats. It refers to literal, physical goat idols, pagan statues, and the wild forest deities that the heathens worshipped. There are no supernatural, invisible, red-skinned demons with pitchforks floating around possessing people. That is a straight-up lie, a pagan myth designed to make you think there is some cosmic war between equal forces of good and evil. There is no devil, you brainwashed churchgoers. The only Satan in Scripture is a human adversary or an opposing nation. The unclean spirits in the New Testament were mental illnesses, chemical imbalances, and disturbed minds, not invisible spooky monsters jumping from body to body. The Israelites were going a whoring after these goat idols. This is graphic, sexual language, because that is exactly what pagan worship was. They would go out into the fields, get drunk, strip naked, and engage in massive, filthy, disease-ridden orgies in front of stone statues of goats. It was disgusting, vile, and an absolute betrayal of the marriage covenant they made with Yah. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 8 shows how serious the Father is about sexual purity. When you worship other gods, you are committing spiritual adultery, spreading your legs for the filth of the heathen nations. Yah hates it with a perfect hatred. He established this statute forever to keep his people clean from the biological and spiritual venereal diseases of the pagan world. And thou shalt say unto them, whatsoever man there be of the house of Yad Shin Resh Aleph Lamed, or of the strangers which sojourn among you, that offereth the burnt offering or sacrifice. Now we look at the scope of this law. It applies to the house of Yad Shin Resh Aleph Lamed, and to the strangers which sojourn among them. Here is another massive linguistic deception. The English word stranger is used by the scribes to flatten two completely different Hebrew words, to trick you into thinking the covenant is open to any random heathen. The word used here is ger, spelled Gimel Resh. Gimel is the camel, representing lifting up or traveling. Resh is the head of a man. Ger means the traveling head, or the one who is temporarily residing. In the context of Torah, the ger is not a non-Israelite foreigner. The ger is a scattered Israelite, specifically from the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes who were driven off and lost their identity, who is returning to the camp to reclaim his heritage. That is why Numbers chapter 15, verse 16 says, one law and one manner shall be for you, and for the stranger that sojourneth with you. The law was only given to Israel. Yah didn't give his holy laws to the heathen nations. The actual word for a heathen foreigner is nakar. The nakar has no part in the inheritance. The ger is your own flesh and blood, your scattered brother who was lost in the diaspora and is now waking up and coming home. We are seeing this happen right now across the flat earth. The two witnesses of Revelation chapter 11, the house of Israel and the house of Judah, are standing up on their feet after centuries of being spiritually dead, stripped of their names, their language, and their heritage. The nations who built their empires on our backs, who sold us for silver and traded our children for wine, are absolutely terrified because they see the dry bones coming to life. This is not a future event. It is happening in your face today. We have covered the first 8 verses of Leviticus chapter 17, laying down the structural foundation of the blood covenant and the centralized power grid of the tabernacle. We have exposed the lies of the priesthood, the biological reality of the vegan diet, and we have completely demolished the demonic fairy tales of the Christian church. But we are only halfway through this investigation. Now, as we prepare to transition into part 2, we're going to go even deeper into the raw, bleeding heart of this chapter. We are going to dissect verses 9 through 16. We are going to look at the absolute prohibition of eating blood, the biological source code of the life force, and the terrifying, graphic reality of what happens to the human machine when you violate these physical laws. We are going to talk about the spiritual mechanics of atonement and how the blood of Yad-He-Wah-Shin Ayin acts as the ultimate biometric security clearance for the elect. Keep your scriptures open, keep your minds focused, and do not tune out, because the deepest revelations are still ahead. Part 2, the parasite agenda and the biometric blood code. We left off right at the edge of the wilderness camp, looking at how the master engineer secured the perimeter against pagan spiritual filth and rogue unencrypted altars. Now, we are stepping directly into the high-voltage core of Leviticus chapter 17, where the Father lays down the absolute, biological, and spiritual laws of the blood, laws that carry the literal source code of your physical and spiritual survival. And bringeth it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation to offer it unto Yad-He-Wah-He, even that man shall be cut off from among his people. If a man attempts to bypass the designated port of entry, he is executing unauthorized code on the system, and the penalty is absolute, violent termination. The door of the tabernacle was the single authorized hardware port, the encrypted gateway where the biological data of the sacrifice had to be processed by the high priest. Let's break down the word tabernacle in the original Paleo-Hebrew script. Mishkan, spelled Mem, Shin, Kaf, Nun. Mem is the water, representing chaos or a massive flow. Shin is the teeth, meaning to consume or destroy. Kaf is the open palm, representing a covering or shielding. And Nun is the sprouting seed, representing life and continuation. Mishkan literally means the covering that consumes chaos for the continuation of the seed. It was not just a tent, it was an engineered shield, a localized electromagnetic containment field where the presence of the Almighty could interface with corruptible flesh without vaporizing it on the spot. When a man bypassed this system, he was introducing a fatal security breach into the camp's firewall. The Father does not negotiate with system vulnerabilities. To be cut off means that the system administrator deletes your user profile from the database of the living. We are talking about a brutal, terrifying execution. Imagine the camp elders dragging a screaming, struggling rebel out past the camp borders, forcing his neck onto a stone block and hacking his head off while his blood sprays into the dirt and his family watches in absolute silence. His body is left in the sun to bloat, gas escaping his chest, while wild desert dogs tear his limbs apart and flies lay thousands of maggots in his rotting sockets. That is the graphic reality of what it means to violate the security protocols of the Most High. This matches perfectly with Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 27, where the blood of the sacrifices must be poured out upon the altar of Yad-He-Wah-He. You cannot run your own bootleg worship programs and expect the creator of the universe to accept your corrupted signal. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Yad, Shin, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, Yod, Hey, Waw, Hey, will even set his face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people. Here's the absolute zero tolerance prohibition against the consumption of blood. The Father says he will set his face against any soul, nephesh, that eats blood. Let's look at nephesh in the Paleo Hebrew. Nun, Peh, Shin. Nun is the seed, representing life and continuation. Peh is the mouth, representing breath or speaking. Shin is the teeth, meaning to consume or destroy. Nephesh literally means the speaking seed that consumes. Your soul is your biological and spiritual operating system, the conscious software running on the hardware of your physical body. When you consume blood, you are committing a massive system violation. You are injecting foreign, corrupt source code directly into your hardware. Think of your body as a high-performance computer. If you download a corrupted, malicious file from an untrusted source, what happens? It bypasses your antivirus software, corrupts your registry, and crashes your entire operating system. Eating blood is the biological equivalent of downloading a Trojan horse. Blood carries the exact DNA, the frequency, the trauma, and the pathogens of the animal it came from. When you drink or eat that blood, you are literally merging your biological frequency with the beastly nature of a lower animal. The Father says he will set his face against that soul. This is a terrifying declaration of war from the master engineer. When the Almighty sets his face against you, he shuts down your life support systems. Your mind begins to rot with madness. Your body is struck with wasting diseases, and your bloodline is violently terminated. This aligns with Genesis chapter 9, verse 4, where the Father warned Nun-Ket, Noah, after the flood, that the life, which is the blood, must not be eaten. You dumbass churchgoers are sitting at tables eating blood sausage, rare steaks dripping with red fluid, and pork chops, thinking you are under grace, while your arteries are clogging with parasitic worms, and your spiritual connection to the Father is completely jammed by the low-level frequencies of slaughtered beasts. You are eating death, and you wonder why your prayers are not getting past the ceiling. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and Yahweh have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. This is the central engineering blueprint of the entire biological covenant. The life of the flesh is in the blood. In Paleo Hebrew, life is K, spelled Ket Yud. Ket is a wall or fence, representing separation and privacy. Yud is the hand, representing work or active power. K means the private work of the hand. The life force is the proprietary, encrypted work of the Creator's own hand, and he stored that power source inside the blood. Underneath the surface of this text lies a profound biological reality. Your blood is a liquid organ, a highly advanced hydraulic transport system, and a fiber optic communication network. It carries oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and electrical charges to every single one of your 37 trillion cells. But more than that, your blood is the physical medium that holds your DNA, the biological source code written by the master engineer. DNA is a 4-character programming language, A, T, G, C, that contains the exact instructions for building and operating your physical machine. The blood is the biometric authentication key. When the priest sprinkled blood upon the altar, Mizbeach, it was a high-level security clearance protocol. The altar was a physical grounding wire, and the blood acted as an electrical conductor that closed the circuit between the people and the presence of the Almighty. The word atonement in Hebrew is kafar, spelled kaf, pe, resh. Kaf is the open palm, meaning to cover. Pe is the mouth, meaning to speak. Resh is the head of a man, meaning chief or first. Kafar means the covering that speaks to the head. The blood covers the systemic errors, the sins of the human machine, speaking peace to the chief administrator. But remember, this animal blood was a temporary shadow. The blood of bulls and goats was a low-resolution placeholder, a patch update designed to keep the system running until the final, permanent software upgrade arrived. That upgrade was Yad-He-Washin Ayin, Jesus, the ultimate high priest who entered the true heavenly tabernacle, not with the blood of goats, but with his own perfect, uncorrupted blood, as documented in Hebrews chapter 9, verse 12. His blood is the ultimate biometric security clearance that permanently wipes out the sin malware from the souls of the elect. If you are still trying to find salvation through physical rituals or animal sacrifices, you are trying to run obsolete, deprecated software on a system that has already been upgraded to the new covenant protocol. Therefore, Yud-He-Waw-He said unto the children of Yud, Shin, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, no soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. The prohibition is repeated and reinforced for both the native-born Israelite and the returning scattered brother who is waking up and coming back to the covenant camp. Why does the Father emphasize this so heavily? Because eating blood is the ultimate act of rebellion against the design of the human machine. Let's look at the word eat in Paleo-Hebrew. Akal, spelled Aleph, Kaf, Lamed. Aleph is the ox head, representing strength. Kaf is the palm, meaning to cover. Lamed is the staff, representing authority. Akal means the strength covered by authority. What you eat is supposed to build your strength under the authorized design of the Creator. When you eat blood, you are violating that authority. You are consuming the life force that belongs exclusively to Yah. The heathens, the pre-Adamic nations, and the serpent seed have always been obsessed with drinking blood. They understand the dark engineering of it. They hold secret, disgusting rituals where they torture children and animals to flood their blood with adrenaline and cortisol, and then they drink their blood to absorb the raw, chaotic energy of terror. It is a demonic, parasitic technology designed to feed their dying, corrupt, physical vessels. But Israel was engineered to be a holy, set-apart nation operating on a completely different frequency. By completely banning the consumption of blood, the Father was building a biological firewall around his people, keeping them clean from the physical and spiritual pathogens of the pagan world. This matches Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 23. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. If you violate this law, you are declaring yourself an enemy of the Creator's design, and he will treat you as a malicious virus that must be purged from the system. And whatsoever man there be of the children of Yad, Shin, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he shall even pour out the blood thereof and cover it with dust. Look at the precise physical instructions for processing a clean animal taken in the hunt. The hunter must pour out the blood and cover it with dust. This is not some arbitrary, superstitious ritual. It is a highly advanced piece of environmental and electrical engineering. Let's look at the word dust in Paleo-Hebrew. Afar, spelled Ayin, P, Resh. Ayin is the eye, representing to see or perceive. P is the mouth, representing breath or opening. Resh is the head, representing the chief source. Afar means behold the opening of the chief source. The dust of the earth is the elemental ground from which the master engineer formed the physical vessel of Adam. When the blood is poured out onto the earth and covered with dust, it is a literal grounding process. Think of an electrical power grid. If you have a massive surge of electrical energy, you need a grounding wire to safely discharge that voltage into the earth so it doesn't blow up the transformers and burn down the houses. The blood of an animal contains a highly concentrated charge of life force energy, the biological voltage of the beast. If that blood is left exposed in the open air, it creates a spiritual and physical hazard. It attracts physical parasites, flies, and disease-carrying bacteria, and it broadcasts a low-level frequency of death and trauma into the surrounding atmosphere. By pouring the blood directly into the dirt and covering it with dust, the hunter is safely discharging that biological voltage back into the global grounding grid of the flat earth. The earth acts as a natural filter, neutralizing the trauma frequency and recycling the organic compounds back into the soil. This is a perfect, closed-loop waste management system. It aligns with Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 23. Only thou shalt not eat the blood thereof. Thou shalt pour it upon the ground as water. The Father engineered every aspect of our interaction with the physical world to maintain absolute sanitary, energetic, and spiritual equilibrium. For it is the life of all flesh. The blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore, Yad-Heh-Wah-Heh said unto the children of Yad-Shin-Resh Aleph Lamed, Ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. The Father drives the point home one more time with absolute, repetitive emphasis. The life of all flesh is the blood thereof. If you eat it, you will be cut off. Why this constant repetition? Because the master engineer knows how stubborn, hard-headed, and easily deceived his people are. He knew that we would be scattered among heathen nations who love to eat raw, bloody meat, who love to drink the blood of horses and cows, and who would try to convince us that our dietary laws are obsolete. Look at the modern food industry. The serpent seed has completely hijacked the global food supply. They pump dead animal carcasses full of chemical preservatives, colorings, and moisture-retaining agents to hide the fact that you are eating rotting, blood-soaked flesh. When you go to these fast food joints and buy their greasy, blood-contaminated burgers, you are participating in the modern, industrialized version of pagan field sacrifices. You are stuffing your temple with the biological waste of animals that were raised in high-stress, filthy factory farms, slaughtered in absolute terror, and processed with zero regard for the laws of the Most High. This continued consumption of dead flesh is the direct cause of the physical degradation of our people. Our ancestors lived for hundreds of years because they operated on the original, plant-based, Edenic source code of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 29. But ever since we fell into the shadow era diet of flesh eating, our lifespans have plummeted and our bodies have become breeding grounds for cancer, diabetes, strokes, and autoimmune diseases. The shadow is over. Yad-Heh-Wah-Shin-Ayin has fulfilled the sacrificial system. We must return to the original design. If you continue to defile your body with the blood and flesh of dead beasts, you are executing a slow-motion suicide program, and the Father will let the natural consequences of your rebellion cut you off from the land of the living. And every soul that eateth that which died of itself, or that which was torn with beasts, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger, he shall both wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. Then shall he be clean. Here the law addresses the consumption of animals that died naturally or were torn by wild beasts. If a person eats such meat, they become ceremonially and physically unclean. They must wash their clothes, bathe their body in water, and remain unclean until the evening. Why is this meat so heavily restricted? Because when an animal dies of itself or is torn by a predator, the blood is not properly drained. It pools in the muscles, coagulates, and immediately begins to putrefy. Within minutes of death, the biological systems of the dead animal shut down, and the immune system stops fighting off pathogens. Millions of putrefactive bacteria, toxic molds, and deadly parasites immediately begin to multiply inside the flesh. If you eat that meat, you are ingesting a massive dose of biological toxins and active infections. The washing of clothes and bathing in water is a literal decontamination protocol. Water is the universal solvent engineered by the Creator to carry away physical impurities and neutralize harmful pathogens. The requirement to remain unclean until the even is a biological quarantine period. The Hebrew day begins at sunrise and ends at sunset. By keeping the contaminated individual isolated from the rest of the camp until sunset, the system ensured that any potential pathogens they ingested or carried on their skin had time to pass or be neutralized before they could interact with the rest of the community. This is advanced epidemiology, written thousands of years before modern science even knew what a bacterium was. It matches Leviticus chapter 11, verse 39, which gives the exact same quarantine protocol for touching the carcass of a dead beast. The Father is a master of preventative medicine, and his laws are designed to keep the camp running at peak biological efficiency. But if he wash them not, nor bathe his flesh, then he shall bear his iniquity. This is the final, sobering warning of the chapter. If a man violates the decontamination protocol, if he refuses to wash his clothes and bathe his flesh, then he shall bear his iniquity. The Hebrew word for iniquity is awan, spelled ayin, waw, nun. Ayin is the eye, representing to see or experience. Waw is the tent peg, representing a secure hook or connection. Nun is the seed, representing life and continuation. Awan literally means the secure connection that the seed must experience. In other words, your sin is not just a moral concept, it is a physical and spiritual anchor that hooks itself to your biological line. If you refuse to run the cleaning protocols, if you refuse to clear the cache and purge the system of contamination, the malware remains active. The toxins stay in your blood, the parasites multiply in your gut, and the spiritual defilement remains attached to your soul. You bear your iniquity. This means the Father will not step in to shield you from the natural destructive consequences of your own rebellion. The biological laws of cause and effect will run their course. The parasites will eat your organs from the inside out. Your mind will be clouded by the toxic waste of putrefied flesh, and you will face the swift, agonizing judgment of a broken body and a darkened spirit. This matches Numbers chapter 15, verse 31, which warns that if a man despises the word of Yod-Heh-Waw-Heh, his iniquity shall be upon him. There is no bypass, no cheat code, and no cheap grace that can save you from the physical and spiritual laws of the master engineer. We have completed the full, sequential, verse-by-verse investigation of Leviticus chapter 17. We have peeled back the religious layers and exposed the raw, bleeding, highly advanced engineering blueprint beneath the text. We have shown that the blood is not just a theological metaphor. It is the physical medium of the life force, the biological carrier wave of your DNA, and the ultimate biometric security clearance for the covenant people of Israel. Now the question is, what are you going to do with this information? You cannot sit there and pretend you didn't hear the truth. The Father has opened your eyes to the biological and spiritual firewall of the blood, and now you are fully accountable for what you put into your body. If you are still stuffing your face with the blood-soaked, parasite-ridden flesh of dead beasts, you are living in open rebellion against the eternal design of the master engineer. You are running obsolete, corrupted, shadow-era software on a temple that was bought with the precious, uncorrupted blood of Yod-Heh-Waw-Shin-Ayin. It is time to shut down the unauthorized processes, clear the cache, and reboot your system. I am calling on the elect of Israel today to make a radical, uncompromising return to the original Edenic source code. Throw away the toxic, blood-contaminated garbage of the modern food industry. Stop eating death and start feeding your body the clean, living, plant-based nutrients that the Father engineered for the human machine in Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. Purge the physical and spiritual parasites from your temple. Align your frequency with the laws of the Most High, and let the life-giving power of His Spirit flow through your veins without interruption. This is your brother Betsadeh Lamed Aleph Lamed, signing off this powerful two-part masterclass on Leviticus chapter 17. Thank you for tuning in to Yah First Ministries. If this lesson punched you in the chest and woke your spirit up, do not keep it to yourself. Share this broadcast with your family, your friends, and every sleeping Israelite who needs to hear the raw, uncut truth of the Torah. We are living in the latter days. The dry bones are standing up, and the nations are absolutely terrified because they see the true children of Israel reclaiming their heritage and taking dominion over this flat earth. Keep your scriptures open, keep your tempers clean, and keep your minds focused on the master engineer. Until next time, when we will dive back into the sealed scrolls to unlock more classified intelligence for the elect, may the power and presence of Yad-Heh-Wah-Heh guard your steps and keep your blood pure. Yah first, family, now and forever. I leave you with Sister Truth's latest song, Virtuous Women, off her upcoming album, Daughter of Zion, that I am producing. Enjoy, fam. Shout out to you, sis. Keep doing your thing for the kingdom. Shalom.
Yeah. It's for my sisters walking in truth. Real ones. Let's talk about it. Proverbs 31:10. Who can find her worth? Far above rubies, that's a value on this earth. She rising while it's night, give her household neat. Verse 15, making sure her family eats. She consider fields and buy them with her own hands. Verse 16, planting vineyards, executing plans. Her lamp don't go out, she working through the night. Verse 18, hustle with her might. Strength and honor are her clothing every day. Verse 25, she laugh at time to come, no delay. She open her mouth with wisdom on her tongue. Verse 26, law of kindness, how she speak to young. She looking well the ways of her household stay. Verse 27, eating not the bread of lazy days. Her children rise and call her blessed indeed. Verse 28, her husband praise her for her deeds. A virtuous woman, that's who I am. Walking in Torah, following the plan. Virtuous woman, see me stand. Daughter of Yah, blessed in the land. Virtuous woman, doing what's right. Covered in the day, covered in the night. Virtuous woman, shining my light. Hebrew queen, walking in the side. She seek wool and flax, work with willing hands. Verse 13, creating with the skills and plans. She like merchant ships, bringing food from far. Verse 14, providing, that's who we are. She gird her loins with strength, make her arms strong. Verse 17, she been working hard all along. She stretch her hand out to the poor in need. Verse 22, the needy reaching, yes indeed. She not afraid of snow for her household care. Verse 21, clothing scarlet they prepared. She make herself cover in fine linen, purple too. Verse 22, carrying herself like royalty do. Her husband owning gates when he sit with elders there. Verse 23, she built him up with prayer and care. She make fine linen and sell, deliver to the merchant trade. Verse 24, entrepreneur getting paid. Virtuous woman, that's who I am. Walking in Torah, following the plan. Virtuous woman, see me stand. Daughter of Yah, blessed in the land. Virtuous woman, doing what's right. Covered in the day, covered in the night. Virtuous woman, shining my light. Hebrew queen, walking in the sight. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain. Verse 30, but a woman fears praise her all her days. I dress modest, I cover what is mine. 1 Timothy 2:9, that's the design. I'm not like these women out here showing skin. I'm a Hebrew woman covered from within. I teach my daughters how to cook and clean, how to be a wife, what submission really mean. Not that feminist garbage they selling on TV. Biblical womanhood is what I'm gonna be. I study Torah daily, I know the word. I correct my household when the lies are heard. I pray for my man, I build him up strong. I follow his lead when his leading ain't wrong. I'm the backbone, I'm the foundation here. Ruth 1:16, where you go, I'm there. I'm loyal to my people, loyal to the truth. That's the virtuous woman, that's the living proof. Virtuous woman, that's who I am. Walking in Torah, following the plan. Virtuous woman, see me stand. Daughter of Yah, blessed in the land. Virtuous woman, doing what's right. Covered in the day, covered in the night. Virtuous woman, shining my light. Hebrew queen, walking in the sight. Proverbs 31, that's the blueprint. Hebrew women stand up, walk in your truth, virtuous, blessed.